Most people think AI is something they'll get to eventually. The problem is that your company has already gotten to it, and the people who know how to work with AI are quietly pulling ahead. Welcome to Managing a Career, the podcast that helps you navigate the path to professional success. I'm your host, Lane Robinson. Each episode, we explore the ins and outs of taking charge of your career, from developing skills you need to succeed to building a network that can help you advance, and everything in between. Whether you're just starting out or a seasoned professional, I've got you covered. So sit back, relax, and get ready to take control of your career with Managing a Career. When it comes to AI, a lot of professionals are still telling themselves the same story. I'll get around to learning it when I get the chance. That mindset made sense when AI felt like a curiosity or a distant threat that might someday take everyone's job. But that phase is already over. AI is no longer a hypothetical technology sitting on the sidelines. It's being quietly woven into daily workflows. It's being baked directly into the tools you already use, and increasingly embedded into what managers and companies expect from their employees. At this point, AI isn't going away. The real question isn't whether you'll work alongside it, but the question is whether you'll treat it like an adversary or learn how to turn it into a coworker, even a partner. This isn't about becoming an AI expert or reinventing yourself as a technologist. It's about learning how to incorporate AI into the way you already work. The most useful way to think about AI is as someone you can delegate to. You hand it the mundane, repetitive, and energy-draining tasks, those first drafts, the summaries, the pattern spotting, so you can spend more time on work that actually creates value. When you stop seeing AI as a threat to your job and start treating it like a member of your team, something important happens. You gain leverage, and that leverage is what allows you to move faster, think more strategically, and quietly leap ahead of peers who are still hesitating. Over the past year, companies have been quietly recalibrating roles. The expectation is shifting. Humans are being asked to focus on judgment, problem solving, and relationship building, while AI handles more of the foundation work underneath. We've seen this pattern before. It happened when spreadsheets replaced manual accounting ledgers, when email replaced the fax machine, when cloud storage replaced file cabinets. No one lost their jobs because of the spreadsheet. They lost their job because they never learned how to use it. What we're watching now is simply the next version of that same cycle. Here's the shift most people still haven't internalized. AI isn't replacing jobs wholesale. It's replacing tasks. And careers are usually built on task mastery. If the bottom half of your task can be automated, then the only way to stay competitive is to own the top half at a higher level. That's why treating AI as a coworker is so powerful. You become the supervisor, the editor, the critical thinker, the strategist. AI becomes the junior analyst, the assistant, the execution engine underneath you. And this is where promotions actually come from. Leaders notice the people who produce more, produce better, and produce strategically. Increasingly, AI is how you get there. If you're early in your career, AI becomes a force multiplier. It allows you to deliver senior level polish while you're still learning the job itself. The people who rise fastest in entry level roles over the next few years won't be the ones trying to prove themselves by doing everything manually. They'll be the ones using AI to create leverage. Your real focus should be on understanding the why behind the work. Then, learning which tasks actually matter, when they matter, and how to guide AI to do the execution underneath you. If you're mid-career, the expectation shifts towards breadth. Your company assumes you can operate outside of your narrow lane, but that's often where burnout begins. AI gives you a way to expand without drowning. It can help you run competitive analysis, prepare presentations, review data, or draft communications so you can show cross-functional value. The classic mid-tier stall comes from being overworked and under-leveraged. AI addresses that directly. You already understand the core of your role. AI helps you stretch into the edges without losing control. If you're senior or managing a team, this may be the most important category of all. Leaders who learn to orchestrate both humans and AI will outperform those who don't. If your team is using AI, but you personally aren't, you'll eventually lose credibility in how you model productivity, judgment, and decision-making. Senior leaders don't need to be the most technical person in the room, but they do need to demonstrate how human insight and automated support work together at scale. Every career stage benefits from this shift. The risk only appears when someone ignores it and hopes it will blow over. Once you recognize that the world is changing, the next step is obvious. You start looking for where AI can actually help you in your day-to-day work. A simple way to do this is to borrow the same filters leaders use when they delegate to junior team members. Ask yourself 3 questions. First, is this repetitive? If you've done a task 3 or more times this month, AI can probably handle 80% of it without much effort. Repetition is a strong signal that delegation makes sense. Second, does this require real brain power or just structure? Summaries, outlines, pattern detection, first drafts, templated responses, these are all tailor-made for AI. These tasks benefit more from organization than original thinking. Third, is perfection actually required, or is forward momentum enough? AI excels at creating a solid foundation that you can then refine with your judgment. It gets you out of blank page mode and into decision-making mode much faster. When you apply this filter, the list of tasks AI can handle becomes obvious. Drafting or revising emails and proposals, creating first-pass presentations, organizing information, summarizing meetings or documents, researching industry trends, generating alternative solutions to a problem, spotting risks or gaps in a plan. And here's a simple rule of thumb. If you find yourself avoiding a task because it feels tedious, that's usually the perfect task to delegate to AI. But those are also the tasks everyone is focusing on. If you really want to separate yourself from the pack, the shift isn't, I need to learn AI someday. It's committing to a small, repeatable experiment, one that runs every week. Here's how it works. Every Monday, identify a single task you can delegate to AI. Keep it small. Keep it manageable. The only requirement is that it saves you time. Then, at the end of the week, document 3 things: what you delegated, how much time it saved, and how accurate or useful the output actually was. This weekly experiment does 2 powerful things. First, it builds your personal AI leverage muscle. You stop guessing and start learning where AI truly helps. Second, it creates evidence, not opinions or enthusiasm, but proof that you're delivering more value than before. Over time, look for natural moments to share those wins with your team, not as hype, but as examples. You're not positioning yourself as the AI person. You're positioning yourself as someone who improves how work gets done. When promotion conversations arrive, you're no longer making vague claims about productivity. You're showing documented improvements. Leaders pay attention to employees who pilot new capabilities, measure the results, and scale what works. That signals initiative. It signals adaptability. It signals future potential. And it makes you very hard to ignore. This is the real opportunity. AI doesn't just change how fast you work. It changes your role. Instead of asking, how do I get all of this done? You start asking a better question. How do I direct the work so it meets the standard? You become the quality controller, the human in the loop, the person whose judgment is irreplaceable. In practice, that shift is simple. You tell AI what to do. You review the output with a critical eye. You refine the strategy. You add nuance, context, and experience. Then you deliver the final version with polish and intent. This is how you move up the value chain. And the higher you sit on the value chain, the more protected your career becomes. The employees who stagnate over the next few years will be the ones who let AI turn into their competition. The employees who accelerate will be the ones who turn AI into an extension of their own capabilities. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be advanced. You just need to be willing to experiment. The people who win during transitions like this aren't the most technical. They're the most curious. You're not behind, you're early, and that's the best place to be. So start this week. Pick one task you normally avoid and delegate it to AI. Even if the first draft is messy, you'll save time and build momentum. Then make it systematic. Keep a simple list of tasks you outsource to AI and update it as you learn. Track the time savings. A basic spreadsheet, just 3 columns, nothing fancy. Over a few months, you'll have undeniable evidence that you're working more effectively, not just harder. Share one AI-assisted win with your manager, not in a showy way, just a quick note that signals initiative and adaptability. And get in the habit of critical review mode. Whenever AI produces something, ask yourself, what's missing? What do I know that it doesn't? How do I elevate this? That judgment is where your value lives. Your goal isn't perfection. Your goal is to get slightly better each week. If today's episode helped you rethink your relationship with AI, share it with one colleague who's trying to stay ahead in their career. People need this perspective. They just don't always know where to find it. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Managing a Career so you never miss the episodes designed to help you get promoted faster and with more confidence. Every share, every follow, every review helps this show reach more people who want to take control of their career. Taking control of your career is entirely up to you. No one else will do it for you. So don't be afraid to take the actions that will help you reach your professional goals. I hope this episode has provided you with valuable insights and advice. If you want to stay up to date with the podcast, be sure to subscribe in your podcast player of choice and visit managingacareer.com to submit show topics and link to our community. For Managing a Career, this has been your host, Lane Robinson. And remember, own your career and navigate the path to professional success.